Welcome to Wealth Coffee Chats, folks, for your daily live updates. Get the most out of today's episode by participating in the chat. Make sure you ask some questions, be part of the conversation, have a bit of fun, grab a coffee or a tea, take some notes, and get ready to start your day, folks. Quick few housekeeping rules, though. No spamming, no advertising or self-promotion in the chat. That's not on. Be kind and respectful to everyone when participating. And most of all, have a good time. Real estate investing can be your biggest asset. It also can be your most expensive asset when it comes to getting it right or getting it wrong, folks. It can be time-consuming, stressful, and that's why here at Positive, we have what's called a 6-star team, a full-service team that provides integrated wealth and property investing solutions and services simply designed to help you progress towards your goal of passive income through your property portfolio, folks. Make sure you check out our other podcasts on the Positive Mentor Network. Not only is there Wealth Coffee Chats, there's the Urban Property Investor. Drops every Wednesday with straight talking investing strategies and lessons with Sam Saggers. Property Investor Tales. This is where our clients, you guys, share real life stories from property investing, hosted by some of our advisors and strategists. And that's done every fortnight, dropping every Monday. Wealth, Wine and Wisdom, folks, that debriefs the week that was in the world of finance and property, hosted by yours truly, Jason Witten and Andy Fenton on Fridays. Hey, good morning, folks.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another Wealth Coffee Chat.
Hope you're well, folks, wherever you are.
There it is, team. Morning. Morning, wherever you're tuning in from today.
Early bird gets the worm, they say. Here at Positive, we offer a 6-star team. It's a team that help you at every stage of your wealth creation journey.
Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone is having a great end to the week. Yes, we have a short week this week, Easter long weekend coming up. So I hope everyone is going to be responsible and enjoy their time with their families and loved ones. My name is Alex. I'm Senior Financial Advisor at Fenton Financial and also part of the 6-star team. So I've been on a couple of weeks now. So looking to continue that. Wealth Coffee Chats is a great forum to catch up on a couple of things that have happened over the week or are happening in the news. So in my case, it feels like the last couple of weeks it's all been, fresh of the press news. And today I think we can reflect back on the last week and see what has happened. So jump on, leave your messages, and let me know what you guys wanna, what you want me to cover in the future episodes, really. So at the moment, obviously everything is happening around tariffs. So we'll touch on that a little bit today, just to run through a bit of an update. But ultimately, the more interactive you are in this forum, the more we can sort of provide back to you. So if things like tariffs are not interesting to you and you want to hear about something else, let me know or let the team know, and we'll try to make that happen for you. So in the last week's episode on Thursday, I mentioned that, Trump has put a hold on tariffs for 90 days. So, and as a result, straight after that, at 10 o'clock, the markets were going berserk. We saw in some instances, 20% uplift. I think on average, the market finished about sort of 6% for the day, which was, again, not normal, right? So these huge swings in the markets are irregular. So we shouldn't be used to these things. But obviously now in the last little while, we're kind of getting accustomed to it. So like I said, every time you go investing, you should be consulting with a professional and work out what sort of strategy works for you, because these things are super volatile and you could lose a lot of money. So just be super careful when you implement any of these strategies, especially in the short term. Okay, so what has happened since? So US and China, I think that's basically the headline at the moment. So they've just been going back and forwards again with the tariffs. So I've just got a couple of numbers here. So US now has 104% tariffs on China, and in return, China has tariffs of about 125%, which is a considerable increase from where they were a couple of months ago. So obvious, well, let's just say obviously, but as a result, that created panic again in the market. So we saw after that huge Thursday where we saw massive sort of jumps in the equities. The next day we saw a bit of pullback. And then earlier this week, I think we got a little bit of clarity from Trump, where he decided to exclude certain items from the tariffs. So things like computers, phones, and chips that go into these things, they were excluded from these tariffs, which is quite interesting, right? Considering that a lot of these items are manufactured in China. So, and if you look at the composition of the US market, you'll notice that a lot of them are tech companies. So which is essentially what comprises majority of the top 500 companies in the US, and what drives the swings in the market as well. So on the back of that, interesting development. So I guess the message that I'm getting from this is that it's very difficult to be trading or making any reasonable moves in this market, because the rules change all the time, right? It's kind of going into a game where everybody knows the rules, and you kind of come in with half of the rules really. So it's not a really fair game, right? So you want to be at least coming into this understanding what is happening. So what are we doing with our clients at the moment? We've had a few conversations where there's a little bit of what is happening, what can we do, and the reality is at the moment it is really just continue to invest in increments as per our strategies, and continue to pick up these same investments at a discount, right? So whether it's a discount now, or whether it's more of a the market is going to continue to fall, our investment strategy is long term. So we are in it for a long haul. So, and we believe that looking at the big companies and how they're set up with the amount of cash that they have sitting against them, we think that they will be able to get through this. Obviously, again, we don't know what next moves will be, but it's something that we are definitely looking at quite closely. What else are we looking at, right? So the other thing that we're looking at is actually the bond market, right? So what is the bond market? It's the completely opposite thing to the equities, right? So this is your defensive side of the portfolio, and how does that sort of, what role does that play in your portfolio? So ultimately, you want to have bonds to offset the volatility in the equities. However, at the moment, the way things are going with tariffs and everything, the bond market is quite volatile as well. So one thing that we've noticed is that when you look at the bond yield over a 10-year period, that's been rising quite a bit over the last sort of three to 4 months, right? So kind of very coincides with when Trump sort of came into power, and these things shouldn't be that volatile, but again, everything can happen. So we kind of looked at, well, what's driving that? Because if you think about what's the purpose of the tariffs, it is to bring the jobs back to the US. It's to lower the interest rate. So as I mentioned a couple of episodes ago, One of the issues that the US has is that they have to refinance their debt at some point this year, and you want to have that done at a lowest interest rate possible. So currently, that is not really what's taking shape. The likelihood is that the interest rates might even creep up a bit. So looking deeper into it, we actually had a look and saw that someone like China, they've been actually selling some of their bonds. So they hold about $750 billion worth of US bonds, right? So, and by them sort of selling their bonds, which they have been doing for a little while, but they've started doing a little bit more now, you could kind of see that that increases the actual interest on that bond over 10 years, because when you're selling bonds, so they need to be reissued at a higher interest rate. So as a result, that's not really the ideal scenario for the US. So they need to that might cause them to go and increase their personal interest rates for the mortgage holders, and potentially also maybe print some more money just to cover some of the repayments that they have to make on the back of that. So it's a very interesting space. We're watching it quite closely. Over the last sort of couple of days, the bonds have come down a little bit. They're sort of sitting early 4%. So I think ideally they need to come down quite a bit, which would then make the defensive side of your portfolio. So now coming back to what does that mean for you? It means that if you've got that in your portfolio, the defensive side bonds and whatnot, your income should be relatively strong, but the valuation or capital of your bond will start to fluctuate up and down quite a bit. So at the moment, it's probably will be moving towards the downside. So if, for example, you had $1,000 invested into bonds, it might be worth, say $900 now. And on the opposite side, the interest on that bond will be rising, which is quite good. So it depends. If you sort of in the retirement phase, then income is great for you. So the fluctuation in capital isn't a big sort of issue for you. However, if you are on the opposite end and you're trying to actually build your position, well, that will impact your returns as well. I guess in summary, we're still watching the developments with the tariffs. I don't think it's the end. There'll be a long sort of journey ahead of us. Like I said previously, 2018 was a really good example of what it may look like. That lasted about 6 months, sort of the first phase of tariffs between US and China. All other countries, I haven't mentioned them, but from what I'm seeing, there's actually some good results. Where they're negotiating quite well. Well, when I say well for the US, and those things are not as impactful as the China and the US negotiations or lack of. So I'll hopefully update you more next week on these on the tariffs and what is happening. But stay vigilant. Make sure that you speak to your professional. Work out what is your composition of your portfolio. Don't panic, right? Because these things can happen and they will happen in the future again. Just make sure that you stick to your strategy, reevaluate it, and keep going. So I guess just to finish off again, just a quick reminder, we do have the property summit in middle of June, the 13th of June to the 15th of June. Super awesome sort of environment to get down there. be around like-minded people, everything about property. You'll see the 6-star team. You'd be able to chat to them and ask any questions. There'll be some special speakers there as well. We had this last year down in the Gold Coast. It was great. I think everyone came out with much more information and perhaps clarity around what they're doing with their investments, whether that's property, equities, whatever it might be. So make sure you look down in the link. There's in the chat link. There's a link to the event. Jump on it, register, and hopefully we'll see you there. So as a sign off, I'll just play the video again of that summit and get down there, and we'll hopefully see you mid-June. Sorry, guys.
All right, it'll be fun. Who has played the property game before? Oh, you're in for a treat. Who likes Monopoly? Did anyone like Monopoly when they were a kid? Well, this is Monopoly in real life in this room. Every hour or so, you guys are going to be up and you're going to be running around the room like maniacs trying to play the property game and win the property game.
Today, I wanted to share the lessons, the mistakes, and the wins.
I want everybody to put up their hands who knows their interest rates on all their loans right now.
If you haven't seen me around before, like 13 years in the industry, in property management specifically.
Who likes paying tax? If you need help finding somewhere to donate, I'm sure I can find somewhere else where it can go.
No, we've got an expression in that, let's go and make new mistakes in the world. Who wants to make new mistakes?
These are just strategic moves that can make such a big difference.
So obviously buy well, never sell. Definitely the majority of what everyone's looking to do is collect some A-grade assets, B-grade assets, whatever it might be.
I loved the idea of being a property investor and developing that identity.
Collectively, they have way more years experience in everything that you think you're trying to solve. Because they do it every single day.
Thanks for watching another episode of Wealth Coffee Chat, folks. Make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you never miss a thing when we go live. Improve your portfolio and investing game, folks, with Wealth Coffee Chats live every morning at 8:10 each weekday. Make sure you join us. Previous episodes are also available wherever you get your podcasts, folks, as well as our other podcasts from the 6-star team here at positivementor.com.au.